All right. Y'all know your favorite coach is back at it again. I had to come on in this thing, get straight to it, because this thing got this what we ready to get into got me seething right now. I mean, I got a little steam coming up out my collar. It's got me a little pissed off, perturbed right now with the foolery that's going on. I don't understand why this young man just cannot get a straight up shake as far as with everything that's happening. And I've been trying to do my best to, watch how everything unravels itself to see exactly how everything is going down before I give commentary to talk about some of the things that I'm seeing out here in this atmosphere. Ready? Because this is another episode of Blow the Whistle with your favorite coach, Coach Walker. If you haven't done so already, please make sure you like, share, subscribe, tune in, tap in, tell a friend and a friend. Y'all know the routine. This is over on the Tomorrow Leader Sports Network platform. Guys, over here on this side of the pond, this is where we get to sit down, let our hair down. I gotta let my hair down just a little bit. I ain't got much up there. Y'all might not see it. I might have a dreads going, but right now it look like I got a bald head, but I really got dreads going on. You see the chin hairs. The chin hairs is real thick and fluffy. We got it going on with that thing right there. But we gotta talk about some stuff because it just ain't making no sense. And y'all know when Coach starts seeing things come across his table, he gonna go ahead, stand 10 toes down and blow the whistle on the bush. You know it's going to happen. So like I said before, y'all make sure y'all go ahead and strap in this thing. I know y'all probably watching me right now on your cell phone, your TV screen, even your laptop, even your tablet. Make sure you got your snacks, your chips, whatever it is that you need to get yourself comfortable, because we're going to dive knee deep in this thing and give it to you straight the way I feel about this right now. It's coming to you straight like that because I'm just trying to get a little understanding here. I mean, they're saying that Deion Sanders is going to play this weekend in the final game against the LA Rams in the home game. Watching that young man during his after practice presser, I got to give this young man his props. I keep saying over and over again, I'm seeing growth in this young man that I don't think was really shown throughout his collegiate career. It may have been there, and Coach may have just overlooked some things. So if I did do that, I don't have a problem with saying I apologize. I'm man enough to go ahead and say that off the rip. But seeing what I'm seeing right now, I'm trying to get this thing because, I'm wondering, is the NFL that daggone afraid of a young man that has confidence? Is the NFL afraid of a young man that's willing to stand 10 toes down and call it the way that he see it? Is the NFL afraid that the curtain is going to get pulled back on the foolery that's been going on for so long with a lot of these athletes, but you ran into the wrong one that's now going to show you exactly what time it is? He's not only going to show you with his play on the field, he's not only going to show you with, keeping this thing the main thing, making the main thing the main thing. Let me make sure I say that correctly. Keeping the main thing the main daggone thing. And see, we got to look at it from the standpoint that, okay, the young man didn't play last week because he had no oblique injury. Got it. You put Dylan Gabriel out there. He did his thing in the game. He had two turnovers, an interception, which was a pick six, and a fumble. Got it. You named Joe Flacco as the starter for game number 1. Got it. Still, we're trying to figure out exactly where's this young man going to land. Are they going to keep 4 quarterbacks? What exactly are they going to do? Especially now they got, with Deshaun Watson being in the shadows and him trying to get himself back together so he can get out there on the field and play, be it for Cleveland or somebody else. Then we got all of the nonsense going on where they're talking about a possible trade. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. There was a show that I did do that I did not drop for you guys, and I'm going to say it right now. Shedeur Sanders is going to be your starter by week 4. I said 4. We're gonna watch this thing unravel. But the one thing I got to say is that I love this young man's positivity. I love how positive he is with all of the crap that's going on around him right now, because some of the stuff that's happening don't make no sense. Oh, I got a laundry list of things I got to get to. So y'all make sure y'all go ahead and get it together, because we're going to go ahead and drop this thing off. But here's the first thing. I'm going to go ahead and give you a little snippet of what he said after practice today when he did his after practice presser. And, he's just sitting there talking. Check this out.
I would say I learned life in a different perspective, and that's why I come here. I'm happy. I always got good energy. because, you know, I'm blessed to come out here every day. Regardless of situation, regardless of anything, you know, I know my time, whenever that is, I'll be ready for it, and I'm going to embrace that. But in due time, you know, I got many things I need to fix, many things I need to work on, and I'm not oblivious to that. So all I look at it as I'm getting more time to cook.
You heard the boy, right? He getting more time to cook. That was courtesy of the Cleveland Browns. They posted it up on their X page. I want to give them their credit for that. I don't want nobody, you know, cracking me in the head, telling me, hey, man, you're using the stuff without giving us our credit. I'm giving you your credit. That was courtesy of Cleveland Browns, their after practice presser with Shedeur Sanders. Now, listen to this young man talk about some of the things that he needs to clean up. If he's able to see that for himself, he's able to acknowledge it. It takes a man to acknowledge what they see and what they need to do in order to better themselves. You did hear me in the beginning say, I'm man enough to apologize if I missed something with this young man that I should have saw in the beginning. You heard me say that, right? So if this young man is man enough to let the world know, hey, listen, I know everybody's rooting for me to be out there on the field as the #1 quarterback right now, but let me get some things cleaned up so I can really come out there and cook for y'all. You get what I'm saying? Yes, everybody looks at what he was able to do while he was at Jackson State. He got out there, he balled out. He got over to Colorado. They uplifted a team that was 1-9, and they went 4-6, 4-8 the next season. I mean, 1-11. They went 4-8 the next season. Then turn around last season, they had a winning football season. You saw what he was able to do over there with Cleveland Browns, not Cleveland Browns, with Colorado Buffaloes, getting out there on the field with his playmakers and making some things happen where they were making some serious noise and had an opportunity to possibly win the Big 12 last season, but they came up short. They got to a bowl game. They came up short. But again, you got to give that young man credit for what he was able to do based on the pieces that he had. Now, I'm not saying that they didn't have no pieces, but when if one particular coach here want to compare Shedeur Sanders to a notable quarterback from the University of Florida, I was like, wait a minute, coach, you getting a far bit out of control. But let me put this in context, though, because this is hold on. Let me put this in context for you guys because this is from 92.3 The Fan in Cleveland. They actually talked to a coach. And the coach was talking about how, you know, a lot of these players nowadays, they're coming in with an entourage. They're coming in with the fanfare that's behind them. They got fans that's following them all over the place as far as their every move and things that they're doing. Social media is prevalent. And what's going on right now is that you got a lot of these folks that don't understand social media and how this thing is working. So they draws is a little tight. And they trying to figure out exactly what do they need to do. And instead of trying to stifle the situation as far as what's going on, we need to take a little bit more, we need to take a step back to get an understanding of exactly what's going on. How in the world, you know, what are these young men and young women doing that has all of these individuals out here that want to be a part of what's going on with them? Why are they paying so much attention to every little thing that's happening with them? They're out there watching them on the field. They're watching them doing this, watching them doing that. If they post something, they follow the post. I mean, it's almost like, man, if they go out here and sell a box of cereal, everybody want that box of cereal. Why? Because their favorite players eating that cereal. Understand exactly what's going on with that and embrace it. I'm sorry, but this young man has the Deion Sanders effect, and there's nothing nobody can do about that. You got to understand, he is his father 2.0. 2.0, you got to understand this is who he is. And guess what? It ain't no changing this. There's no changing this. But hearing Coach Urban Meyer talk about Shedeur Sanders and the 3 games that they went to see them play when he first got there to Colorado. He was on 92.3 The Fan, and he was talking about Shedeur Sanders at Colorado. Check this out.
Sanders, and not comparing the way they play, but what they come with. They have a brand. You know, Tim Tebow had a brand. Obviously, you coached Tim Tebow. What are you seeing with Shedeur Sanders? And do you think Shedeur Sanders has what it takes to be a starting NFL quarterback?
Now, when you hear what he get ready to say next, you're gonna be sitting there like, wait a minute, what? So what's the problem? But wait, let me shut up. Let me let him talk. Check this out.
I loved watching them. We covered at Big Noon. We covered them. We were there for Deion's, I think, first 3 games, and he turned around a program that was a train wreck. And you don't do that without Shedeur Sanders. You know, I got to go behind the scenes and watch his coach or his father and coach. And, you know, a lot of times we all get uncomfortable with maybe the flash and the posse and the watches, et cetera, et cetera. But I know what I saw. I saw a player that can get out of trouble, lead a team, has really all the skill set to be successful. He took just a god-awful program, and they turned it around.
Now, you heard that for yourself, right? If you got a coach that won several national championships with Tim Tebow in Florida, won at, I can't believe I really got to say this name, because listen, I'm a Michigan fan at heart, and let me take my fandom out of this right now. I'm just gonna say the daggone name, because when I say the college team that start with an O, it's like me cussing. But I'm gonna go ahead and say it just for the sake of, you know, Ohio State. He was the head coach over Ohio State. And yeah, they did win this year. I mean, they won after we slapped them, you know, in the game. You know, we had to give it to them a little bit. You know, I mean, a game y'all should have won during the season. Y'all should have went ahead and ran them out with that thing and just, you know, did your thing. But you had to lose to Michigan in order for you to get it together and go out there and dominate. But I saved that. This ain't about my Wolverine. This is about Shedeur. So let me stick to the topic at hand and get back to it. But what I'm trying to get everybody to understand is this. Coach Urban Meyer understands how the game is evolving right now, as far as, you know, how college sports itself is evolving. And so many people out here that don't understand or really don't want to take the opportunity to evaluate how things are changing, or better yet, just get an understanding of how can we progress this, or how can we manage things so that everyone is able to just be themselves. See, in sports, period, you had things, and I hate to put it in this context, but it is what it is. You got athletes that are held to one particular standard, and others are held to a different standard. And I'm just going to be honest with you guys. At the end of the day, these athletes are making money hand over fist because of their NIL. This was something that could have probably been rectified decades ago, had some of these greedy folks in these conferences, as well as the NCAA, understood that this was going to come back and bite you in your behind sooner or later. Yes, they're throwing money at it right now to the different college programs to help bail them out of something that they created. They could have paid them athletes long time ago, didn't want to. So now say, hey, listen, instead of the NCAA being bankrupt, and we having to deal with this on our own, universities and colleges, can y'all help us out, please? That should have been a hard no. But I'm not the one making that decision. The schools made that decision. They decided to opt in, and we are where we are. But looking at what Deion Sanders has done as a Hall of Fame NFL football player, as a Major League Baseball player, the only person in sports, period, to play in was it a playoff game and the World Series in the same day? I'm like, you got to give him his props where props is due. I'm sorry. This man went out there. He put in the work. He handled his business. He conditioned himself to be that guy. And there's so many athletes out there now that's trying to condition themselves to be that guy. Travis Hunter has raised the bar where he's trying to do it on both sides of the ball on a team. He did it in college, and now he's looking to try and do it in the NFL. That's all because of his head coach, who was that guy, told this young man, hey, listen, raise the bar for yourself and get there, and however it is you got to do it to get there and manage it, make sure you do it to the best of your ability and handle business. Same thing he did with his kids. Now, everybody don't understand why, you know, the bravado, the gold chains, the watches, and Shedeur doing perfect timing. I call it perfect timing. Showing them the watch. Hey, keep showing them the daggone watch. Don't stop being you, Shedeur. Be who you are. The world know who you are. Be who you are. Handle your business, get to where you need to get out there on that field, and then show the world who the heck you are. Because at the end of the day, your father prepared you a long time ago, especially when he showed the world that when you guys had the show and he sat you on his lap while you were at the, you had a problem with going to a new school. And he asked you, what's your name? He said, what does your last name mean? And you was like, Sanders. He said, Sanders. He said, no, what does your name mean? And he talked about how that name means confidence, being resilient, being able to get out there and do things that people feel that you're not capable of doing. So when you hear that young man tell the world, hey, you know what? I'm playing for a lot. He ain't lying. He's not lying. He is not lying. The world is waiting on this kid to fail. The world is waiting on this kid to fall flat on his face. So they can sit there and say, I told you wasn't your daddy. I told you wasn't your daddy. You ain't him. You ain't built like that. Has Coach Prime rubbed a lot of folks the wrong way in the sports industry? Abso-freaking-lutely. Why? Because he tell it the way that it is. He ain't curving nothing. He's just calling it straight, right, wrong, or indifferent. And no one wants to understand that. Everybody feels like, you need to deliver that a little softer than what you're doing. Well, guess what? Many of you out there going to Cubicle Nation today or at Cubicle Nation today, when they come in there and tell you that you didn't do your job correctly, are they delivering the news to you softly? Or are they swift kicking you in your ass telling you, hey, listen, this is what's really going on? Be honest with yourself. Because this next thing that I can't, I'm trying my best to get over this here. Hall of Famer, Eric Dickerson. This was on the Dogs Cleveland Browns podcast. Allegedly, I mean I'm gonna play this for you. Ooh, child. Oh my God. This Albert Breer was on a show. I believe it's a Fox Sports show.
And I'll tell you this much here,
Listen.
And I'll tell you this much here, what I heard from someone that's in the NFL. That the NFL told other, don't draft him. Do not draft him. We're gonna make an example out of him. And this came from a very good source. A very good source.
Are we really on that type of time? Now, you know what? If this is true, what's going on, this further explains why the NFL bought 10% of ESPN. They are going to make sure that they guide the narrative as far as what's being told when it comes to these NFL teams in the manner in which they want it done. Y'all think it's cap. Watch what I tell you. Y'all gonna say, dang, coach from Blow the Whistle was your favorite coach, Coach Walker. He told us this on the pod. Wait a minute. He really said this? Yes. Yes. Y'all better wake y'all tails up and understand what's going on. Understand one thing. When you own the radio, newspaper, television, you can program people to think the way that you want them to think. And that's what they're going to do right now. Because you know why I say this? We've already seen how it's being done with the NBA. And the NBA didn't purchase anything from ESPN or Fox or none of them. What they're doing is everybody's making sure that, hey, we're going to put it in the minds of the people. LeBron James will never be the GOAT. It don't matter what he do. It don't matter what he do. He'll never be the GOAT. He's going to be second or third. He's going to be behind either Jordan, Kobe, or he's going to be right after Jordan. And I'm like, come on, guys, you got to be kidding me. If we're going to have that GOAT talk, put all of them in there. You got your errors going on. You got your time frames where everything was going down. Let's look at it. But see, like I said before, people are not understanding exactly what's going on. This is bigger than just Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders is the litmus test that's being used right now to see if they can really get away with this. Because there's no reason that this young man shouldn't have been drafted a lot higher than what he was. And honestly, truly, I'm gonna say this for the last time. And I think I've done like 2 or 3 shows already where I've mentioned this. But I think the last show that I did, I didn't give you guys that one. I do apologize. That one should have came out on Tuesday. This is gonna be a Friday show because it has so many other things going on. But Dylan Gabriel, I'm sorry. Dylan Gabriel, I'm sorry. To me personally, and this no slight towards the young man, he's not that good. He's okay as far as the system. Everything that, listening to a lot of these analysts talk about Shedeur Sanders when he was at Colorado and how he, 35% of the time he threw passes towards the line of scrimmage instead of trying to push the ball down the field. We saw a lot of that check down Charlie business going on with Dylan in the preseason game he played in last week. I mean, anything 5 to 7 yards, he letting it rip. He ain't pushed the ball down the field to try to, air that thing out to see what the receivers could do. He did none of that. Everything was 7 to 10 yards, 7 to 12 yards, 7 to 14 yards. There was no big passes being thrown out there. Shedeur Sanders is going to get out there and try to push that thing down the field to put that team in the best position for them to put points on the board. And that's what it is. But at the end of the day, you can't get mad at how the young man play the sport, play the game. But I will say this I will say. Whether you like it or not, that young man has touched the hearts and minds of those young folks in the city of Cleveland, regardless if you like it or not. Them 12 jerseys have been sold. His mentor, when he came into the NFL, he was QB4. He was QB4. On the New England Patriots depth chart, he was QB4. Bledsoe was number 1. Frizz was 2, and Bishop was 3, and guess who was number 4? Tom freaking Go Brady, who y'all say as you go. He's number 4. Where's Shedeur? Number 4. And funny thing is this, as I watch this young man take all this in stride, I got to ask yourself a question. Ask yourself an honest-to-God question. How many of your quarterbacks that's 4th on the depth chart? I bet, how many of your players that's 4th on the depth chart is going out of their way to help out in the cities that they're in, regardless if it's if it's something that catastrophic happened or whatever's going on? How many of them are just taking the opportunity to go out there and help in the city without trying to make it a real big deal? Ain't no cameras or nothing popping off for everybody to see what's happening. But he's just going out there to just do something for or within the city. How many of them are really doing that? Because I'm gonna tell you this: after watching this, seeing this clip here of this young man at this game, he was at the St. Ignatius High School game. It was him and Newsom. Him and Newsom was at the St. Ignatius game, and looking at these kids rush the field, him standing out there on the field, man, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? He went out there to the game, and I believe this happened. Either this was, he was out there practicing. He's out there practicing on the field. And you saw these kids rush the field while he's out there practicing, just coming up to talk to him. If that's not what you're looking for from your athletes, NFL, for them to come into these different cities and make a difference, what are we doing? We've seen long enough where these teams, they're just looking to put a product out there to entertain the fans while they continue to keep collecting the dough. These people want to see a winner. They want to see something shake as far as them have an opportunity to get out there and possibly play for a Super Bowl. 30 years since? Come on, man. Saw that happen with the Fords. That's where I'm really from, the Detroit, Michigan. I watched that happen with the Fords. Watched that happen with the Davises, with the Pistons. The Lions and the Pistons. Now, it's standing room only to get Lions tickets. The Pistons, they finally starting to come back around. Should have never fired Joe Dumars, but they started to come back around. The point I'm making is this. It's time for the crap to stop and people to put these organizations together so that the fans can enjoy the sport for what it is. Y'all want to know why all these athletes are jumping around from place to place looking to find somewhere to go win? Because they tired of going out there getting their heads beat in, playing for a losing program or a losing organization that really showed them they don't give a damn about anything that's going on with them. That's straight from the heart right there. But hey, your favorite coach gonna go ahead and get up on out this thing. I had to go ahead and get that up off my chest, guys. But hey, like I say to you all the time, when you see the BS happening out there in these streets, especially when it comes to these sports, stand 10 toes down and blow the whistle. Like your favorite coach, Coach Walker. Blow the whistle and let them know what time. Go ahead and get up on out this thing. But until next time, peace.